Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 India Edition. Where last episode, guys, as well as creating a brand new cargo line, we also for the first time ever implemented public transport for all of the wonderful people gracing these lands. We're now getting them on board a streetcar and using two horses to pull them from town to town, city to city, and it turns out that that line, if I go and check out my lines right now and kind of view it by what makes the most amount of money, is, apart from the two train lines, the most profitable line after the trains. How crazy is that? Now, with everything that we got underway, we added an additional train on the food run right now. We added an additional platform and had two lines going up. We built this brand new wood route as well, which turns out really well. It's all growing to be sweet cash money moolah. I think we can now get ready to fund the next set of expansions. Now, I have to kind of explain what I want to do. But before I do, if you are enjoying the series so far, want to see more, are hyped for it, smash that like button down below, subscribe if you are new around here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Don't rely on the recommended tab, guys, subscribe, and leave a comment saying thank you for placing more, we'll do just that. Now, while we've got this basic stuff set up, it's all there just to grind me money. It's all making profit, which is really good. But the whole system of this is just there at the moment to make me enough money so I can pay for my big expansions. Now, this is what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to start with, I'm not going to call it a high-speed line because at the moment right now, it's not going to be a high-speed line. What it's going to be is my core line. And what I want to do is set up a train line that starts at the tip of the bottom of the Indian Peninsula, and it's going to jump only to a handful of cities, okay? So, for example, we could start it down here in Kanyakumari, that's how you pronounce it. Around this area, the next stop could be, for example, Bangalore. The stop after that could be Hyderabad. The stop after that could be Nagpur. And then the stop after that could be Delhi. Let's just say there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops on that whole train line. And what I can do is I can treat that as my core line, my spine line, and then off that line, we can connect up a bunch of the cities. So we have a main artery that jumps vastly across the country with minimal stops, meaning it gets to its final destination and back really quickly. And then on those stations, for example, we set up one on Bangalore, we have an additional few platforms which then bridges off and connects for other train lines to other areas. Obviously, we set up a tram and bus depot, so trams and buses can connect to nearby cities, and everywhere's intertwined and connected. But to do a vast network like that, which I feel like this series is going to need, we have to start with the spine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a station in Bangalore, and I'm also going to build a station in Hyderabad. Now we'll do these two cities. We'll also connect these two cities up to begin with, and we'll use these as our little test run to figure out what type of station we're going to need, how we're going to do it, how we're going to connect it, how we're going to run the lines, and however we do it between these two cities is how the rest of the network is going to work. Now, we need to make sure that we got enough platforms to connect multiple lines and rails and connections to, and unfortunately, Bangalore is going to have to see a little bit of destruction. So right now, it is a city that could potentially grow quite big. We should be nervous. And it will eventually grow back once I've destroyed it. So please bear with me, guys, okay? We're going to pause right now. Now, first I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize... Actually, I'm going to delete this road here. All right, delete that real quick. And I'm going to redraw it in a straighter line. Okay, let me get rid of you, get rid of you. And then between this road here that I'm now about to re-implement, so let me just turn off my ownership because I do not want to own any more of that line. to there. Between this road here and that road there is where we're going to build our brand new station. It does give us a lot of space to utilize. Now, I'm obviously going to spend the most amount of money right now in destroying the city, but again, bear with me. Building wise, we now need to set up the station, so I could go as crazy as doing 8 platforms, which is way over the top to what I currently kind of need. Probably don't need to do that much, but at the same time, we probably do need to do that much. Can I go for the full shebang of the full length? Oh, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. Okay, what I'm going to do, because we're currently in 1868, the station itself is old school. Now, we're obviously going to implement that, but more importantly, boys, what type of buildings can we utilize in the street connection? I know eventually, at some point in the game, once we reach those years, new buildings become available, because I did select them as the mods. So, okay, with that said, back to buildings, on the trains. Another thing I want to do as well is try and implement this underpass. So I reckon if I do the 240 length train, if I slightly adjust it, and let's say we go to about there, because it will allow me, or do I go to about here? If I go to about there, we can bring a road out and create like a little bit of a horseshoe shape. And is this perfectly level? I don't think I'm going to get it perfectly level, am I? It's either one slight bend or the other. So we'll go here. Let me just drop this down right now. Bam. And let me see what I can do for this. So let's see. Number of tracks. I need to do the length of it as small as I can. I remember utilizing these in the past, but we just got to kind of configure the length because too short and they don't do what I want them to do. So I've gone to a 70. The slope is too much. That's what we've got to try and figure out. Is it 75 maybe? So there's a collision there, and I think the collision is... It's not the building, is it? Is it the building causing the collision? Okay, we can go a little bit longer. Right, let's go 85. 85 works. Okay, with that in mind, 85 is going to work. Now, how do I want to build this then? So let's configure it. Now, we've got a line here kind of coming in. We're going to bulk it up with a second line just there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place down some platforms. 1, 2, 3. I don't mind counting. Just go along as normal. We're going to do another set of 2 train tracks. Now, this will be subject to change, okay? This will be subject to change, but I'm going to kind of set this up a little bit differently to how you would normally set things up. Now, we'll delete that last little platform, and we'll put a cargo on this side. Now, we can go back to the platforms again. I'll explain this shortly in just a moment. Or do I go a little bit wider? Do you know what, boys? I'm going to go a little bit wider. Right, get rid of all of you. Train tracks. We'll do 4 train tracks. Right, this is going to make complete sense in just a moment. Right, there we go. Platforms. We'll do a set of passenger platforms. And then we do another 2 set of tracks. So you can see that we've kind of divided it into 3 sections. Is what we've done here. Divided it into 3 sections, and we run back down with the passenger. At the very end here, we do a cargo 1. So what I've done there is divide it into 3 sections. Now, the center section, as you can see, clearly has bypassing lines. So the 2 lines in the middle are for trains that do not need to interact with this station whatsoever and can completely bypass through it, which is perfect. Then what I'm going to do is use then the outer line or the outer tracks of the bypassing routes that touch the platform here as being our high-speed, eventually our high-speed rail line station stops. And then I've got 2 lines on this side and this side here which kind of connect up both, and they'll be utilized for the commuter and the cargo run trains. So you can see how we got the cargo platforms at the very end there. That's what we'll do with those. So it gives us this ability to be flexible. We got 2 kind of areas for commuter lines, so I can have them bend off this way and that way and that way and this way to pretty much go wherever they want, and then a straight run there for the high speed. Now, it is subject to change. It will change, so you just got to deal with it at the minute because we don't really fully know what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to place then this on here. This is 2 for that. I've got to delete this building. It's a weird how I've got to delete the building though, isn't it? Delete the building there. And then 4 for this. And drop you in there. I've now got the underpass. Now what that allows me to do is not destroy the whole of Bangalore with massive train tracks coming through. And it allows the city to naturally grow around it as well, which really helps us out. So hopefully I can do it on this side. Now this side is a little bit tasty. So we'll bring this to an 80. You can't have it all, boys. You can't have it all. We got to delete the building. Right, bam. And then drop down to 2 tracks. Bam and bam. So that vast station has underground capacity for connections in the center of Bangalore, which again, technically right now, it's not connected to the road. But what a station that's going to be. Just imagine how this is going to progress in years to come. And because of the year, we get an old style building as the main entrance. So let me go back to editing it anyway, because we've still got to add some buildings on this side. So passenger buildings, we'll go with a big boy. Oh, we could almost just about connect, can't we? I could connect it like that, but let me put the... Oh, do I put the big boy on this side? Let me see what the big boy can do here. Miscellaneous. I can't connect anything more to it, so maybe the big boy's a bit too much. Building-wise, how much does that stick back? Right, we'll go with these ones here. We'll play around with this. Some smaller ones. Right, there we go. So road then, streets, if I bring a road, now the road's going to be slightly awkward. I'm wondering how far back I can maybe, that's as far back as I'm going to be able to move it. So we're creating like a unique little U shape here as an entry point to this part of the station. Now this one here is a little bit different. I could try and replicate that. But the little horseshoe shape is not as prominent as the other. Right, I don't like the idea of it. I don't like the idea of it cutting in like that. So maybe it's a case of, do I need to come off this first here and then cut in? Right, why is it doing that? Right, delete you. Right, we'll do the other way around. Delete you. And then... Right, that was weird, wasn't it? That was really weird. But there we go. We have connections. So that's the radius it kind of does right now. Bangalore will eventually just grow around it. But there's also plenty of room here and there for the buildings to upgrade to reach these edges. This is going to be exciting. Now, at some point, opposite the station in this area here and here, I could build the big tram and bus stations to bring even more connectivity to the area. So that's what we're going to do there, okay? Subject to change. It could all still change, but I think that is the biggest station I could implement, which causes the less detrimental destruction to Bangalore, the city. And then the station line will pop out at some point. Now, let me do the same over here in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've got to do the same here as well. Now, this one's going to be a lot more expensive to destroy. So, we'll go to there, delete there. And how big was we looking there? I think we've got to delete... I might make this road here bend into that connection here. So let me just delete you. I know this is really expensive to delete, guys. I really do know it's so expensive to delete. But what we get out of it in return is worth its weight in gold. So bring you up to there. Right, is that straight? Oh, I just noticed that this train station is going to be a bit on a bend. Right there. And then build. So back again we go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. And try and get this as centered as we can. So if I build you, for example, then let's go about there. And I don't know how the... Oh no, the tunnel should work fine. That one's on a slight hill. So I don't know if the tunnel's going to drop there. I don't know if it has the capabilities to do it. I suppose in reality there's only really one way in which we can figure this out, is just by doing it, right? So if I was to get the train track right now and did it oh no, it's the collisions first, isn't it? Right. That won't do it because of the road, because it still bridges up. But there is nothing stopping me for pretty much mounding the road up and then deleting it myself. So I think we have to artificially plug the land a bit higher. So that tries to drop down, which I'll delete. Now this is the only issue with this. You have to technically slightly adjust. Let me delete the train station. The city to fit what I want to do. And I know it's detrimental. Right. I get it. It's detrimental. They don't like it. I still haven't figured out, boys, what buttons I was meant to press to make stuff go up and down. I've already forgotten. There is something you can kind of press to make it go up and down. I wonder if I can kind of see it in the settings, keyboard, rotate, tilt, key mapping, show hide. Oh, hold on. Did I have to shift keypad? Wait, hold on. Dot or minus? Or it could be those. It could be those. So... Right, okay. It is. You got to hold shift. You've got to hold shift. Oh, I only now just figured out what I had to do. Because this, in its entirety, I don't mind it dipping down a lot, but if it does dip down, it does help us out with the arrangement and the alignment of the road. Maybe not that much, though. Maybe about there. Okay, we'll go there, and then we'll kind of build the rest of this. So tracks then, let's just kind of do it, let's just do it at the sides to begin with. So bam, bam. We've got to delete this platform and this platform. So platform wise, you go there, you go there. And then it's bam, bam. And then tracks, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Platforms, bam, bam. Tracks, 1, 2, 1, 2, and for this, it's a cargo one. Bam, bam. Right, so the rest of the normal platform goes there. That goes in here, leading all the way down. And then I can go absolutely OTT with the train tracks. God help us when I've got to upgrade all this to high speed and electric lines. There's a lot of upgrades that are going to need to take place. Right, passenger buildings then. Now, I could probably go for the big boy. I could actually go for the big boy buildings. And then situate it where the road slightly dips down. And then we'll get away with it. So what if I go for this building instead? And put some smaller ones either side. Just for the funsies, okay? Just for the funsies. So we'll come back and sort the roads out in just a moment. Let's just sort out the tunnels. So if we go into this distance, that's an 80, 80, flip it right round, bam, bam, and then we'll do the 4. There we go. Almost couldn't centralize it then. Bam. So we're only going to focus on the 4-lane section, but the 2 lanes either side do set us up for commuter lines and for cargo runs coming in. So that really does help us out. We're just going to make sure that this station here can actually physically connect. So if I delete this for a split second, and if I get the road now, and if I just bring that road a bit further down, so I can then come off the road. Now, obviously, we're going to drop it down. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it down to here to then make it go and connect to there. Right, nothing wrong with that. But then I'm going to delete it here. So I've got my straight line to now work with. Which... Is it too far away? Oh, annoyingly, it's a little bit too far away. Oh, I should have done this in the first place. Oh, that's to there. Which allows me to bring this snap in. And I don't like the idea of the bridge. So why is it bridging? It's bridging because that's going up the hill, isn't it? Right, bring that quite far out. That stays at a nice leveled plateau to what we want. This here connects in there. Do I just kind of continue it and let it do what it's got to do? I'm not a fan of the bump it throws in. But I can get rid of that and replace it nice, flat, calm and straight. Which that would have went to here. Now looking at the alignment, it is slightly off. So the alignment would go there, which is pretty much just there. Right. Allow them to build the rest. There's only so much you need to do. You allow the game to do the rest for you. So let's say there was going to be a road here. That couldn't spread through there. Unless you went on a slight little lip to get up and over the tunnel underneath. Now that works, but I wouldn't say it's aligned correctly. So to there, but to there, slightly up, and then down. And now you just got this beautiful way in which the city, people can navigate around the city, but also access the train station. So we'll go for the smaller road here, pushing this right down. Hopefully there's no issues on this. Bring that across. Bring that up. Delete you. The station now connects to the town. And again, it gives us room around it to build the connections, whether it be the tram stations, the bus stations. But these big, glorious train stations right now in these 2 towns work pretty well. I've just got to get them connected. So, question is, how much of this will remain underground? And how much of it will pop up ground and then travel through? I would like a lot of it to be above ground. I would like it. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, obviously, I can see it. What I really find quite unique about India is how the train lines do run through the towns. It is quite normal. Oh, this looks really weird, doesn't it? It is quite normal to see the train line system. Let me delete all that. Run through residential areas in India, right? It's not unheard of. Now, I could also implement something similar to that. If I just bring this going out and allow these rows to connect. So it doesn't go right for right for pollution. They don't really like the idea of it. People living in the cities, in the game, I should say. But I don't think it's too bad. Now, eventually, right, this here, I could turn into the train station stop for this town. But until then, maybe this is where, right, my high-speed line can run and connect in. It's all dependent on how high it can drop up. Now, something else I've got to do, and you can't do it on this, but I've got to do the crissy-crossies. So if I bring this up, you can see where it's now starting to come out the ground. And I might be able to actually bend it directly in. Do you know what? That's actually not bad. So do the same to this running all the way up as well. Now, of course, we've got to bring these in because it's a crissy-crossy. So I'll bring it so far down to there. And then we'll merge it in. Like that. I'll do the crisscross. And then we've got the ability to kind of connect our high-speed line with the bypass line for them to continue and skedaddle out of here. Pops up here quite nicely. Off it goes. Now, better you can have a station around here, which we could utilize that, or not. We could maybe have a station connect to it, but these two lines here will be the extension on the station that connect us over. Should be pretty great. So the plans are in demand then. It's like the train lines go for the station anyway, or go for the town anyway, and then the town raise some funding to then build a platform on this to allow the commuter lines to run alongside it. So at least it sets us up for the future. It could be quite interesting. Now this is going to be interesting, boys. So we should be able to do this pretty easy as well, but I think the best thing to do would be is to figure out where the trains are going to, or the train line's going to run first. So we will need to do some sort of a bend to begin with at some point. But, oh, it's a shame we can't get. And I might be able to. All right, that's going to snap there. But if I start raising this up to get like a small little bridge going over this. All right, don't play these games with me, boys. Don't play these games. Do I need to go delete back a little bit more? Right, don't play these games with your boy right now. It will be kind of cool to have a slight little bridge going up and over. Right, I don't mind having to raise it. Right, there we go. There we go, boys. How low can I bring this before you lose the bridge? Right, that's the only bridge I can choose from, right? Yes. I really like the idea of having a slight little bridge on there. Right, that's glorious. We can do some terraining to make it look semi-natural. But that's pretty cool, isn't it? I do like that. So we're going to have to do some type of a turn. But I reckon if I can do that, we'll try and look towards running... Now, through here, the crissy cross. Let me do it a little bit smaller. Because I don't really like too much seeing the road having to raise itself to meet the train's level. But I'm going to run to there. So how far can I run this now out? So somewhere down the road, we've got to bend in. Now, it might be better to bring this out to about there. To then bend that into it. Bringing this all the way down to here. Sweet. Now, before the tunnel gets involved, it would also be pretty cool if we can make that a tad bit longer. Bend you in. Bend you in. And then crisscross before the end of the tunnel. Yes. So I like the idea the other train lines can continue to stay underneath and continue. They can bend this way. They can pretty much go wherever they want. The commuter lines can run any direction. As you can see, they've got the ability to go left or right or whatever it may be. Same on this one as well. You can go to the right, to the left, or kind of continue up. There's many options. I can connect many lines to them. So we're keeping the commuter and the cargo lines completely separate right now, which is great. So this will run into there, and then you to there. And that runs in. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of how this bends. Because that's quite a sharp bend, isn't it? But what else can you do in reality? I mean, you can make that turn a bit more to run down this way and then turn. You can make the S a bit wider, but I suppose it's a swoop and bend in to a straight on route. It's fine. It should be fine. So last thing I want to do then, because it will drive me crazy if I don't do it, is the smoothing him. Smoothie, smoothie, smoothie. Because if I don't do it, guys, I got OCD and it will annoy me. I'm quite happy to spend a couple of mil right now to do some terraining. Right, just wait for the autosave to kick in right now. Come on, autosave. I've got millions to spend here in terraining. All right, there we go. Just on the train track side. So it doesn't look too bad, does it? Nah, it looks pretty good. Around here, which is great. And then we want to kind of then play around with the stations. There's not really much to do with them. Just kind of sort them out. But I think, where is it? Hyderabad. There we go. Their station here is a bit cutty on the terrain. Let me do a bit big on the brush size. Because by doing this right now, it will level off the area as much as we can. We'll try and make it as flat as much as we can. And as buildable as possible for the city when it grows. So that there, theoretically, boys, sorts us out quite nice. So this could work, and it should work. There shouldn't be any problems with making this our spine run. Now, the issues then become to where we then start running all the other lines and connections. So this is where I want you guys to help me out, okay? Now, it's going to be the spine line, and it will stop off minimal stops north to south. That's what it has to do. So from Bangalore, it's going to stop around here. That's a given 100%. So from there, that'll be its first stop. It's done. What I need help with is where does it go from here? Now, I want it to end in Delhi. That's where I want this line to end. So from Delhi to Hyderabad, which is just there, I feel like it makes sense to go through Nagpur. But then do I go Nagpur and then straight to New Delhi? Do I just leave it as that? Or should I connect to maybe an additional city in between? Now, before you say you should connect this, trust me, all those will be connected. That's what the additional commuter lines on the left and the right will be for. But I want the spine. Eventually, this will be turned into high-speed lines connected up first. So what I could do is have the right side here go to Bellary, which then turns into Raichur, Beswanda, come down to Nellore, Pudcheri as well. I mean, we could create like a little bit of a mini loop going around and then bring streetcars into the mix to connect everything all up. All these possibilities will be possible. They will be possible, and they will be really, really exciting. Damn! Right, anyway, let's go back into play mode then. I didn't actually spend as much as I assumed I was going to spend. So, one thing else I should do, it took me over 30 episodes in the Australian series to pay off my loan. Here we go in episode 3. And I'm now debt-free, boys. I'm now debt-free. That's crazy, isn't it? That really is. So, should we connect up a route between Bangalore and Hyderabad right now, just simply going back and forth? Could be a possibility. Get them rocking and rolling, get the money already being made. How much demand are we going to see from this? I don't know. But it could be a good idea to bring the street connection down to here, but I think that's pretty far for these guys over there. A lot of these towns, their streetcars will be replaced by the train service. And I'm only going to be moving them back and forth here. So I don't feel like it makes much sense just yet until I got the rest of the system all on. And then we can connect some more stuff up. Now, what I could do is I could, in reality, build the train station that will stop here. That would then make sense. But that's then committing to the commuter line, which I think we'll probably save and do at a future date. Now, Hyderabad, we could theoretically create a little bit of a streetcar connection going from here to here. Oh, I didn't connect this road back up, did I? Right, let me connect this road back up. So we'll go dirt road, so allow them to do what they've got to do. All right, there we go. That road's now connected back up. So streetcars, I could connect up. I don't know what towns to go with. I can run through here. Up. Down. I mean, I could make them do all 4 in one spiderweb loop. That could work out really well. That could work out well. But I think we'd have to build a tram depot to begin with, right? To make them utilize it very well. What side would I build it on, though? So if I was to build it here, for example, bus and tram stop, and let me bulk it up. So platforms 2 either side. Is that wide enough to head on here? I could even probably go for 3, right? I could. Make it 30 meters. Right, do it to the point where it doesn't delete the buildings there. Interesting. Now that is a beast of a stop, okay? Great thing is about this is it connects both sides so they can kind of walk to it. And that gives us a great radius. And what we'll do, we'll go to each town. So we'll go bam, 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 up, bam, 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 bam. So we go there, 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 across, there, 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 across. I can do on a tram network. Now this might be a little bit OTT, but it sounds pretty good to me. And that means Hyderabad right now is that station is connected up by all these towns. And eventually I can do the same thing to Bangalore. And then all of a sudden that spine route now has meaningful passengers being transferred to one to the other. See, that's what I mean. This map is so crazy. You got to think outside the box a little bit when it comes to building this stuff. So let's upgrade it then to include street constructions, no, tools, tram tracks is what we pretty much want. And we're going to run tram lines down to here then. So if I upgrade you, and all I'm doing is upgrading the tram lines to include it. Down here, in. Okay. So that gets us to there. We'll then have to skedoodle this way. With the trams. I could widen the roads as well. Let me just see what I can do first. Bring it down. Now, it's got to go back in. Now, both sides going across. Need it. Now, we're going to get them to go down this way, so they are kind of having to go around. We can have additional stops here, which is great. All right, down to here. Bam, bam. I'm going to widen the city centre road areas. So make sure I'm going the correct way, all the way down to here, and then just bring these now together. Right. The network's now in place for the streetcars. Okay. But it's a case of doing larger streets. Now, we'll move the buildings over. But I'm kind of preempting how the city is going to grow. Now, does that get rid of my... Is that too wide, do you reckon? Tools. It allows us to have traffic flowing through the center, which could work out. Wider roads. I know, again, like I said before, it's very expensive. But I'm investing into the future of these cities. Now, Hyderabad. We've got the smaller roads leading in. So I don't know if that's a good idea to remain the smaller roads or upgrade them to these big boys that I'm doing now. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one to kind of figure out what you want to do. But it allows us to have these chunkier roads. So the city has a bit more space for growth and larger buildings. It's here is the issue. Now, I want to see what I can upgrade. I can't upgrade you. I can upgrade you. I can upgrade you, upgrade you. I can upgrade you, upgrade you. Okay, so I can upgrade these roads. So I'm going to do it. We're going to upgrade them. Now, I'm only probably going to do that road there because it's the only road that makes the most sense at the moment. Because that road there is going to take a lot of traffic on, isn't there? It's going to take a lot of traffic. So, right. Let's take a look then at building this tram network. So a new line. Oh no, hold on. I can't do a new line because I haven't built the tram stops for the street connections. Buildings, bus and tram. Now we're gonna have to have two because it's a loop. Oh, that's a good point. I could either do one route, a second route, and then they meet in the middle and they crisscross and transfer. Or do I do a big loop? Because you get up there and you want to get to there, you got to go through 3 towns. Ah, right. You know what, guys? We're gonna scrap what I did. But then again, we need to then create loops here, so I can do that. We're gonna scrap everything I've just done. All right, that's gonna work fine. Get rid of you to here. To there. You to there. Right. Streetwise. Bring you in here. Upgrade, upgrade. That's that loop there done. Same with this. That's that loop there done. I'd rather have 2 lines than 1 line because it makes a lot more sense. They can meet in the middle, crisscross and transfer. That will be better for me. So this road here bends round and down, which is kind of semi-annoying. But that's just how the city is going to have to grow. And then tool-wise, back in and out. Right, okay. That works better for us. That does work better for us. We'll have 2 routes instead. Because then I can always extend onto them routes and go to like that town to bring it down and through and up to there. And so on and so on. It gives me more freedom to expand that line, doesn't it? Right, anyway, building wise, I need the bus and tram stops. So as it kind of comes in, 1 there. We only need to do 1 now, which is interesting. 1 there, which is great. We'll do 1 here. And where am I? Oh, over here. 1 there. Okay, so new line then. Add station. So we'll start here to there, and then back. Now the Hyderabad one, what we do here is allow them to utilize multiple platforms. So if a platform's busy, the tram or the streetcar at this point can go into a different stop. So another new line, and then we'll go here, 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 and here. So same again. Nice. So now then, I've just got to implement a streetcar or a tram depot, which we'll put kind of slightly out. I find it hilarious how the... Oh, wrong button. I find it hilarious how the dirt road has tram tracks on. I don't know why. I just find that hilarious. Well, all of a sudden now I can't... Oh, there. I'd say all of a sudden I can't raise it. Right, just throw it in there. The terraining's going to annoy me. There we go. And let's buy some streetcars. So we'll buy these. We'll buy 3 for each one. So I'll buy 6 in total. 1, 2, 3. We'll check on line 1. And then the rest, line 2, which I do need to rename. But we'll see what 3 does. 3's not going to be enough. Right? It's not going to be enough. But what that does for us now is make the Hyderabad station now more connected than ever. That's just a short walk to there. So when I do get the trains running from Bangalore up to Hyderabad, people in Bangalore can access all these little towns around it just by then jumping onto a streetcar directly after. So let them do what they've got to do now. We've got wider, chunkier roads in these towns. I don't know why I've chose to do that now thinking about how I've changed it, but at the same time, I could connect onto these areas and build more. So just see what happens. Just now see what happens. That's going to become quite the hub. Quite the hustle and bustle is going to go on in Hyderabad, boys. And then we'll do the same thing over in Bangalore. Now, Bangalore can have places like Tumkur, Mysore, Arcot, Salem, even Bellary we can connect up, which allows us to kind of create these nice little linkages and just change how everything kind of filters in. We create like a spider's web, and in the center is the station. But we'll also have multiple stations leading out and going here, there, and everywhere anyway. So we've got the abilities and the capacities to do so. It's quite exciting, isn't it, boys? There's already a few people waiting here. Now, the only downside to these streetcars is they can only carry 7 people. But that's fine. It will build up a lot of people on the stations waiting. At the moment, there's not max demand. So it'll kind of work out for us. It really will work out for us. Okay. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good. A little spider web of dreams. A little spider's web of dreams. So, absolutely amazing. Be interested to see how more busy it now becomes because of the connectivity. Because even though public transport does reduce traffic, right? While traffic reduces as you bring more public transport to a city, the bigger the city then grows, which increases traffic. So while you do solve it, and by doing that it's providing services, the services grow the city, which in reality give us more population and more traffic. Oh, new vehicles. New vehicles. Right, hold on. The road depot, new vehicles, any of it cargo related? So we can now do 5 capacity. No, we've got 5 capacity vehicles already, haven't we? No, we have 4 capacity vehicles. Right, this could be an interesting change. So the food routes, which is you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Right, they're all the same vehicle. Oh, and you as well. Replace these with, say, we bring the European... Because we've got the Asian ones right now. We do 4. I can move to a European style one. Out of these 2, we'll go with this one. So we're bringing the European influence to India right now. I'm sure they'll be thankful for that. And each vehicle can carry an extra 1 cargo. Doesn't seem like much, but in the grand scheme of it, as time goes on, that is a lot more cargo. Upgrading a whole line to carry an extra cargo is the equivalent of throwing another vehicle on the route. So that's pretty handy. A nice £500,000 investment right there. Make a huge difference. So it is quite sad that we don't get to see the trains going back and forth just yet. But like I said before, the reality is it's only going to send them to Bangalore. Now, I could maybe think about implementing said train going back and forwards right now. I've got to rename these lines. But it'll be part of my high-speed train line. So going back and forth now. Obviously in Bangalore, we can get to utilize both sides, which is 3 and 4. Hyderabad, it'll be 3 and 4 as well. Simple. And they just crisscross there. Where is it? Just there. You can just about see it. I do need to sort out signals. This is one thing that we didn't do. So the signal for the crisscross is here. We want them to drive on the left-hand side of the road. So that would go here. And then we'll do a set just here. So all I need to know is that the signals need to be in the center. And then there. So just a couple of sets of signals right there will kind of help us out. And I could implement a train. I really want to implement a train. So at the minute, it will be a commuter train because it's not really doing any high-speed stuff at this moment in time. But at least we can get something on the go, something moving, something hopefully making money. Now, everything's making cash. Even the brand new streetcar lines are making cash. That's crazy already to think that they're already making money. So if there is ever going to be a line to lose us money, it's going to be what I'm about to implement right now, this line. So I'll build the station, the train station, or the train depot, I should say. Let's build that. Let's build it here. Or here. No, I'm going to build it here. Just there. And all I need to do is connect up one side of the train tracks to the other. So it just needs to run like this. Nothing crazy. I know it's going to be on the wrong side, technically, isn't it? So it needs to go over to there. Run that to there. And we just want a cheap train that can carry a nice amount of passengers. We've got a lot of variations to pick from now. I know the new Russian B-class just got implemented. But you got to think, it's not going to carry that many people. So it doesn't need to have exuberant amounts of power. While the power would be great. Do you reckon the Borsig? What's the Borsig versus Russian class? There is a huge difference. That Russian class GV is probably the one I'm going to go with. Now, we've got no multi-units, have we? No. Passenger based here. So 14 or 13. I'm going to Nicholas there or the passenger car. Now, that one carries one less, but it is literally 17,000 big ones cheaper. So I'm going to do a 39 capacity train. 1.6 million it's going to cost me. Line 3. Now, even though it doesn't make sense at the moment, well, it does make sense to a certain degree, but the network's built here. Coming down to Bangalore, they can only really go to Bangalore unless they're traveling to some of the nearby towns, but they have to use personal transport to do that. So it doesn't make much sense unless you want to go to Bangalore. But then again, Bangalore is a city that will grow quite large. I think it might engulf the nearby cities. This whole region here is going to be quite densely populated in the future. So it could make sense. It's already carrying one passenger, which is interesting. And the train station itself has already got 5 passengers going through it, but the initial journey is normally the most busiest anyway. But now what oh my goodness me, look at the amount of people here waiting. I reckon these 2 lines, line 1 and 2, we could theoretically duplicate the trams. Do I want so many more? You know what? There's 6 trams on the lines now. We'll see what happens. Because there's a few people waiting there as well. It just makes sense to put more demand on the line. Right, anyway, this station we've now got 13 people waiting. The train is heavily approaching. Now, the only downside is it is a ramp to get to every single one of these stations, which is okay. It's better than what it could have been, which is destroying half the city. Now, with one person on board, what does that make? 6 grand, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, one thing I've never done with these, platforms, is implement the underpass on each one. That's one thing I didn't do. Let me do it on this one as well. Configure, underpass. Just to be able to get to the platform. There's 40 people waiting now in Bangalore, which is going to completely fill that train up. It only carries 39. So maybe that will make money. Maybe I'm underestimating India. Guys, do you reckon that I'm underestimating how powerful the population of India actually is? I think I might be. I actually think I might be. It's quite terrifying in a way, isn't it? It is quite terrifying in many ways. Right, where's Bangalore? Because that train's about to come in right now. We've only 17 on board, so we can see how much it makes. Now, finance-wise, obviously, paying through the nose. But 114,000 big ones. Nice chunk of change. And now it's going to go back completely filled up. Right, that's already making... That's going to make a profit, that line, already. It's already going to happen. Give it more time. It would definitely make a profit, that line. 100%. But this simplistic network works well. Yeah, we've had to delete the town, but the city's now growing because of everything that we've now got going on. The public transport connections. Hyderabad, that took a big hit, has now sprung back, and it's bigger than it ever was. I'm going to assume Bangalore's done the same as well. It took a knock, now it's bigger than it ever was since we implemented this train line. So it's crazy. In many ways, it's crazy. I really think I'm underestimating it. Now, what I'm scared about is, even though it doesn't feel like the towns are close proximity, I know once I start doing what I need to do to supply the towns with the goods and their public transport, they're going to grow quite big. And the towns are going to be so big, they're going to eventually start merging into one another. And that's what I'm really, really scared about. So I think this is a good start. We've got a really good basis to which we can now work with. Nice little, which will be our high-speed train line. But I think we'll build the rest of the network, right? And when I say network, I mean the high-speed train line, which is what we've got now, which is not high-speed train line. But for now, it's going to be called our spine line, okay? Our spine route. Then once we've built that, we'll slowly start building small little commuter lines coming off it. And that's how we're going to have the vast connectivity India requires. Damn. Right. That made some money, didn't it? Yeah, look at the money it made right now on the way back. That's crazy. A lot of people waiting there already. Just picked up all those people there, which will get transported as they are all now walking to the station. We're picking up more people on the streetcars, which is great. Is every line now making cash? It is. And line 2 and line 1 are now starting to rival all the other routes. Now they're starting to creep up. Line 3, the brand new passenger line that's implemented, is our 3rd best route so far. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I'm really excited to see where this is now going to go. If you guys have enjoyed this episode and want to see where this city is and transportation company is going to go, make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, boys, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.